Hello children, welcome to digital classes. Today we are going to learn about an exciting topic, Europe. We have divided Europe lesson into two parts. In this session, I am going to describe and teach you about Europe first part. Before that, I would like to ask you a few questions. How many continents are there on the earth? Yes, 7 continents. What are they? Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, Antarctica. Which is the 5th largest continent? Europe. Yes, exactly. Our topic for today is the Europe. The Europe, one of the most beautiful continents in the world, industrially, infrastructure wise, technically, scientifically, the most developed continent. Children, can you see what is there in the picture? That is Eiffel Tower, which is situated in Paris, the capital city of France. I am sure children, after completion of this session, you will be able to locate Europe with its boundaries, to describe mountains, plains and rivers, to understand the concepts of peninsulas, islands, bays and gulfs, to know and cherish the climate of Europe, to analyze the importance of the Atlantic Ocean, to appreciate and praise Western Europeans for the best utilization of the North Sea, that is nothing but Dogger Bank for fishery, to collect more information about distinct Mediterranean climate which is suitable for growing juicy fruits. Let us get into the core topics of this session. Children, as you can see in the map, you have orange shaded place is there, that is Europe, that is in the middle of the map, you can see clearly. To locate any place, any country or any continent, we need to know the boundaries. Yeah, this is exactly what is Europe. The boundaries of Europe: the north, the Atlantic Ocean; south, the Mediterranean Sea; east, the Ural Mountains; west, the Atlantic Ocean. Let us get into the details of each boundary of Europe. North, the Arctic Ocean. As you can see in the picture, it is covered with the ice all year round, because the location of this Arctic Ocean is in polar region. South, Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea means middle of the world. Europeans did not know about other continents than west part of Asia, north part of Africa. So, they thought this sea was in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the world, that is why they called Mediterranean Sea. East, Ural Mountains. Ural Mountains are not very high, they separate Asia and Europe. On its west lies Europe continent, on its east lies Asian continent. Europe and Asia are a continuous landmass, that landmass is called Eurasia. West, the Atlantic Ocean. As you can see, the marked area between Europe and North America is the Atlantic Ocean. It is the second largest ocean in the world, which separates Europe and America. Some 500 years ago, Europeans found sea route to North America and settled there millions of people comfortably. Children, let us have some questions based on what we have learned so far. First one, name the boundaries of Europe. Second one, identify any one country which lies in Eurasia. Let us see the physical features of Europe in detail. Physical features consisting of mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers. Let us see in detail what are the mountains that present in Europe. Let us see in clockwise. There are 9 important mountains in Europe. The first one, Scandinavian ranges that are present in Norway, Sweden, Finland. Second one, Ural mountains that are present in Russia. Third one, Caucasian ranges that are present between Caspian Sea and Black Sea. Fourth one, Carpathian mountains that are present in Romania, Bulgaria and Hungary. Fifth one, Dinaric Alps mountains that are bordering Adriatic Sea that are present in Slovenia, Moldova, Croatia, etc. Sixth one, Alps mountains that are present in France, Austria, Germany and Switzerland. Seventh one, Apennines mountains that are present in Italy. Eighth one, Pyrenees mountains that are between Spain and France. Ninth one, Pennines ranges that are present in the UK. Let us see some of the plateaus that are present in Europe. In India, we have huge plateaus like Deccan Plateau and Malwa plateaus, but whereas in Europe they have very less plateaus are there except Germany and France. Plains. Europe has got vast plains, especially eastern part of Europe is full of plains stretching across Russia, Ukraine, Poland, etc. Heavy snowfall is order of the day here, and these plains get bitter cold in winter seasons. When summer approaches, snow melts and small streams flow and join to form mighty rivers. This is where great rivers like Dnieper and Volga originate in these eastern plains. Children, let us have some questions based on what we have learned so far. First one, where do the Volga river originate? Second one, is the cropping possible in eastern plains of Europe during winter? Why? If it is possible, why is it possible? If not possible, why it is not possible? Let us see the important rivers of Europe. Major rivers, there are 10 major rivers in Europe. First one, the Seine. Second one, the Rhine. Third one, the Oder. Fourth one, the Po. Fifth one, the Danube. Sixth one, the Vistula. Seventh one, the Volga. Eighth one, the Dnieper. Ninth one, the Don, and the 10th one is the Dwina, among which 3 important rivers we can see in Europe. These are very most important rivers. First one, the Rhine. Second one, the Danube. Third one, the Volga. The Rhine river flows through Switzerland, Germany, France, Liechtenstein and Netherlands. It empties itself into the North Sea. The Danube river is also called the largest international river. It flows through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, etc. It is called the largest international river because it flows through 10 countries. It empties itself into the Black Sea. Third, the Volga river, which flows through Russia, the longest river in Europe and empties itself into the Caspian Sea. The importance of European rivers. As you can see in the map, in the picture, the cargo is carrying a lot of goods. Like all other continents, rivers have major roles to play. They play a major role in irrigating fields, act as major waterways, transport people and goods from place to place. International trade and transportation is possible because of these rivers flowing through number of countries. Several industrial and mining cities have emerged along these great rivers. Children, are you interested to come with me to see some of the riverbank cities which are there in Europe? Let us go. Riverbank cities of Europe. Budapest, the capital city of Hungary, by the river Danube. London, the capital city of the UK, by the Thames river. Venice, the important city of Italy, by the river Po. Berlin, the capital city of Germany, by the river Havel and the Spree. Let us see the peninsulas, islands, bays and gulfs of Europe. Unlike other continents, the European continent is jagged and sea coast is very jagged. In some places sea cut deep into lands, elsewhere land stretches far into sea. Let us see peninsulas. Children, we can see the landmass which is covered three sides by the water is known as peninsulas. For example, you can see in the map, the Italy is covered three sides by the water. Islands. Landmass which is covered all sides by the water is known as island. For example, England in Europe. Bays. In a bay, the land curves inwards and the mouth of the bay is usually wide. For example, Bay of Biscay, which is situated near France. For example, in India you can see the Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal, which is situated near India, is the example of bay. The gulfs. A gulf is a narrow inlet of sea and has a narrow mouth. For example, the Baltic Sea gulfs are very famous in Europe. Gulf of Bothnia, Gulf of Finland, Gulf of Riga. Since bays and gulfs are protected from high seas and storms, they can easily be anchored boats and ships, and loading and unloading of cargoes is very easy. Let us get into the climate of Europe. Let us understand what is climate. The weather conditions like temperature, rainfall, humidity prevailing in an area or a country for number of years is known as climate. Europe experiences is cool and snowfall in winter is always there. Summers are hot, but not as hot as ours. Distance from the equator. Children, you can observe the equator in red color in the map. The climate of a country is also influenced by the distance from the equator. The equatorial region is warm and hot. As you can see, if one moves northwards or southwards, finds cooler and cooler. For example, the location of polar region, it is there on the north pole, that is why that region is covered with the ice all year round. The climate of Europe is also influenced by the Atlantic Ocean and warm ocean currents which blow from this ocean. During the winters, Eastern Europe experiences bitter cold, Western Europe experiences normal cold because of the warm ocean currents and westerlies coming from the Atlantic Ocean. Seas and rivers freeze during winter in Eastern Europe because Eastern Europe is far inland than Western Europe. Westerlies, the winds blow all year round from the Atlantic Ocean from the west direction called westerlies. These westerlies are warmer than land temperature and are moist too. That is why Western Europe is warmer than Eastern Europe. Warm ocean currents. Let us understand first what are currents. Currents are nothing but the flow of the water in the ocean. These warm ocean currents originate near the equator. As the arrow mark shows here, this starts near equator and they slowly advance towards North America, and from there they reach western part of Europe with the influence of westerlies as well as warm ocean currents. Gulf Stream and North Atlantic Drift. Let us understand what is stream and what is the North Atlantic Drift. Warm ocean currents are called Gulf Streams in America. Stream means fast flow of water. Warm ocean currents are called North Atlantic Drift in Europe. Drift means slow flow of water. Western Europe showers all year round. Due to the influence of the westerlies, this Western Europe is cloudy. You can find rainfall daily. The sky is always cloudy. As Indians wait for the cool showers in June, Europeans wait for sunny days. Dogger Bank, it is a place very beautiful in north, located in the North Sea near Britain. Gulf streams and warm ocean currents bring a lot of food to the fish to this area, so that fish breeding and fish industry has flourished in Europe. Fish is the staple food of Europeans and fishery is an important industry in Europe. Fish and fishery. Children, just observe the pictures. You can see a big fish being carried by these people, and a lot of fish are caught for the fishery industry. Mediterranean climate in southern Europe. Countries like Spain, France and Italy that are bordering Mediterranean climate experience these climates. This is very distinct climate. Rains in the winter season you can find, and dry summers are termed as Mediterranean climate in southern Europe. The Mediterranean countries like Spain, France and Italy experience rains in winters and dry summers termed as Mediterranean climate. This climate is very suitable for juicy fruits like oranges, figs, grapes and olives. Children, I think you like fruits, but western fruits are very juicy and yummy. Juicy fruits like olives, figs, grapes, oranges, etc. are grown extensively in Europe? Questions based on what we have learned so far. First question, in which season does it rain in the southern Europe? Second question, what fruits are grown extensively in southern Europe? Children, let us see the recapitulation of what we have studied so far. Location of Europe with its boundaries. Eurasia is nothing but a continuous landmass between Europe and Asian continent. Physical features like mountains, plains, plateaus and rivers, peninsulas, islands, bays and gulfs. Climate of Europe, which is cold. Distance from the equator, since the location of Europe is away from the equator, it experiences cool climate. The Atlantic Ocean, which influences the temperatures and the climate of western Europe. Westerlies, which blow throughout the year towards Europe from the Atlantic Ocean. Warm ocean currents that start from the equator, advance towards America, from there finally they reach western part of Europe. Western Europe and Eastern Europe experience different climates. One is warmer, the latter one is bitter cold. Mediterranean climate, that is distinct. You would be wondered to see showers in the winter season and hot summers are there. A small project work. Collect the names of the capitals of England, Germany, France, Italy and Russia and write important industries of the above countries in a tabular form. Example, country India, capital New Delhi, important industry textile industry. Children, for better understanding of the concepts, solve the worksheets. Please visit the official website of SCRT for worksheets. Students, today we have learned about first part of Europe. In the coming session, we will be discussing about second session. Lot more exciting things will be there. All the very best. Thank you.